Welcome back to Project 308, part number 4. First up, we're going to run to the body shop and take a look at the car there. Then we're going to come back here and look at this motor. It's got a couple of secrets, good and bad, but you're going to have to stay with me to discover them.
At the end of part 2, I banished Project 308, committing it to paint purgatory at a shop where the owner and I go way back. Lawrence and I have been sending each other work for about 25 years. I take care of his personal cars, he takes care of mine. And this one, I've been saving up for.
So we're gonna restore this baby, make it look like brand new. Magnum PI style, right?
When you get underneath it and you see it underneath it, it looks to me like the rockers have been repaired.
Yeah, because look at the welder.
Yeah. So I think it had a partial restoration.
Restoration, yes.
Because...
Yeah, they did. Look.
Yeah.
They did. So like this here, I will grind all that flat.
Yeah. Like I don't know exactly what's happened here.
Well, this we're gonna paint all.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
All 100%. We can't do it and leave that.
Yeah, okay.
Over the years, I've heard it said many times that body work and mechanical work are quite different. Body work almost seems like more of an art form than what I do. And I guess everybody has their own way. Just like Lawrence here, he's circling all the parts on the car that need repair. Taking a look at the front left fender, we can see that there's a bit of body filler in it. I mean, it's not horrible, but I expected to see some, to be perfectly honest.
Now we're looking at this red sparkle wrinkle paint. There's two layers of it. There's a red and there's a black underneath it. And I really don't want to sandblast these. I think I can get all this off with just some chemicals and a good strong power wash. I'm going to strip them off the engine right now, and we're going to see what we can do with just a little bit of elbow grease.
Fortunately, for every one step back, at least I've taken 3 or 4 forward. But now I'm about to have one of those moments. I forgot to remove the distributors. And to make things worse, like a teenage boy on his first date, I got all excited and prematurely took the flywheel off before setting my ignition timing, when it would have been easy. But it's not the end of the world, though. I can just run upstairs, rummage through some boxes, pull out the old distributor cap, and get myself out of trouble. Now, ignition timing is critical on any car, but this old Ferrari, it's got 2 distributors. What? And they run independent of each other. It's almost like there's 2 4-cylinder engines that are sandwiched together with sharing a common crankshaft. I need to figure out exactly how this system works before I take these 2 distributors off this motor. Right now I'm using the distributor cap to figure out where number 1 cylinder top dead center is, and then I'm using this long drill bit to figure out where the very top of the stroke is for cylinder number 1 piston. Now that I've got everything figured out, I can quickly remove these 2 distributors and then get that abomination of a painted valve cover off my pretty engine. Now you, as the smart viewer that you are, you know that I've already pre-recorded this and I know what's about to happen. I gave you a clue at the beginning of this video of what I'm about to discover. You didn't skip over that, did you?
Terry, doesn't that look like it's more than clean? Like it's rebuilt? Like there's no wear on that camshaft.
Because those things are perfect. There's no wear marks on them at all.
So just in case this is your first episode and you missed this important fact, I bought this car in non-running condition. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know if I had a crapped out engine, a good engine, nothing.
Yeah.
Apparently the old man's eyes are better than mine. But I'm going to go with the fact that he just happens to have a flashlight strapped to his head. But he's noticed something, and he wants a little tiny pick to pick it out.
Ta-da!
What did you just find?
It's one of the head bolt
washers.
head bolt washers.
And I think this is pretty much guarantees that the head has been off recently relative to the motor. I know it's sat for 20 years, but that's a pretty good indicator that this head's been off. And it's also kind of concerning, isn't it?
Yes, I can tell you
What else is sort of down there? Look how clean this is. The rest of the valves are like this. Like the engine hasn't been run at all. See that corrosion down there on that one valve? That's got us concerned a bit. We're going to need to probably pull that head off and take a closer look at that valve. Which way do you want to go? That way?
Whichever way, this is not going to hurt me. Which way you going?
Which way do you want to go?
I'm going that way.
Alright. So that's bolt going to clear there? I think I scored.
I think so too. Look at that crankshaft. That crankshaft is being polished by somebody. That was not good right there.
Now just look at me go, mechanic and skilled videographer.
Ooh, we got nicey-niceys going on here.
Wow.
Damn.
It's all brand new. Look down there, there's a spot of corrosion on that one cylinder wall down there. Do you see it?
I'm sure the piston rings are pretty dry after all these years of sitting. Gotta throw a little bit of oil down the cylinders.
This time it's stopping at the bottom of these things. Going down.
Undoubtedly, this motor would have had a rudimentary balance when it was manufactured. And looking at these polished marks right here, they indicate that the crankshaft has been on a lathe, further confirming my initial thought that I have a rebuilt frickin' motor.
Remember when I bought this car when we first talked about it and I said it's all going to come down to this motor?
Yep.
Did I get lucky on the motor or not?
Yep. Just don't.
I think it's pretty safe that I got lucky.
Have you told the previous owner?
I haven't told the guy I got it off of yet. I figure I'll let him wait to see the video. Or do you think I should give him a courtesy?
Nah, somebody else will. I'm sorry to say, but
I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I swear this has got to be the cutest, petitest, potato belt I've ever seen in my life. So much has changed, yet so much stays the same, doesn't it? Anyways, when we look at this motor, take a look at the camshafts and the pulleys. It's the same general theory that's used today. Few differences are the camshaft pulleys have no markings on them. You actually have to use valve lash measurements to be able to calculate cam timing. And normal belts, normal cars have one belt that goes around everything. This car has two separate belts and no markings on the camshafts. So what am I going to do? I'm actually going to put some marks on the camshafts and the belt. That way I can get it apart and put it back together a lot easier. Paint the belt there. Paint it there. But this is technically bank 1, I believe. I mean, I've quickly gone through the manual. I haven't totally. But anyways, I refer to this as bank 1 because it's the one closest to the firewall. The rear of the car. Not the firewall, sorry, the rear of the car. And one time vote. Okay, got a thermo switch to disconnect in there. I really wanted to get a good look at that valve. That's why I took the manifold off. Definitely some moisture in there, and it's been trapped for there. So the reason I took that manifold off was because I wanted to see if it was as bad as I thought it was, and it is. So in order, I got to make a judgment call, and the judgment call is I'm going to pull that head off. So I'm just going to go look up online on the owner's manual, service manual, on the proper procedure to take this head off. There we go. So now for the moment of truth. These heads are notoriously difficult to get off. I'm hoping that the fact that this has been off not so long ago that it's going to come relatively easy. This head's coming off pretty easy. It's going to come off right now. There's that moisture I was talking about. Thank you for watching part number 4. I'm going to go away now and digest everything that I've got, everything I've found, and decide what I'm going to do and get back to you in part number 5. Thanks and stay safe, everyone.